Nope. Brand new movie hitting theaters this upcoming weekend. Directed, written, and produced by the great Jordan Peele. Stars Daniel Kaluuya, Kiki Palmer, Brandon Pereira, Michael Wincott, and Stephen Yeun. And tell a story about the residents of a lonely gulch in inland California. Barrett witnessed an uncanny and chilling discovery. The film's 2 hours and 15 minutes and is rated R. Welcome back to a brand new movie review here, Max Talk Movies. We're talking about Nope. Let me know your thoughts. First of all, in the comment section down below, if you've seen this film, rank all of Jordan Peele's 3 films. I'd love to have that fun discussion in the comment section down below. Also, if you've not seen it, tell me, are you going to check it out? Wait for it on streaming. Let me know where your thoughts are on this film in the comment section down below. Non-spoiler fashion. I actually might be dropping a spoiler review very soon about this film. There's a lot to talk about spoiler fashion. Please like the video, guys. A thumbs up on that really helps the algorithm out. And please subscribe, ring the bell. If you're new to the channel, I do these types of movie reviews, TV show reviews, movie rankings, and a box office breakdown show every single Monday. So please subscribe and ring the bell. So heading to this film, I was pumped. This is for me, top tier filmmaker. I've been a Jordan Peele fan all the way back into the Key and Peele days. I'm very much a super fan of the Key and Peele sketch comedy. And now seeing him be this horror thriller director has been really, really cool to see. So Get Out for me, I believe, is just a masterpiece movie. It's one of the best films of my lifetime. Really, really special film that still gets rewatched, and the more you rewatch it, the better it gets. I'm on the very positive side on Us. I really loved that movie. I don't think it was like it was in my top 10 of that year, but it didn't really reach the heights of Get Out. So for me, he was 2 for 2. And I want to say right off the bat, this is a very much a 3 for 3 run for Jordan Peele, because I really love this movie from start to finish. This movie tackles so many different things. It is Peele's most epic film to date, his widest scale film. I would highly recommend you guys, if you have an IMAX theater near you, you have to see this in IMAX, because the movie was shot for IMAX, and a couple of the action scenes are scaled for IMAX viewers. Seeing this in IMAX is definitely worth the money, because the scale of this movie is so huge. This is definitely his most gorgeous movie. This is even including just during the day or at night. It's a beautiful movie to look at. And it's also a cleverly written film, because he also puts these main characters as their real people. They feel like real people who feel like they're not just based on fiction. That's what I think Jordan Peele's films have really nailed. First and foremost, the characters being not just great performances by these actors, and we'll talk about that in a second, but that these people feel like real people. And one of the coolest things about this movie, that this really is a sci-fi Western film. Yes, there's definitely horror elements to this movie, but he doesn't go for those cheap jump scares. Just like this, I feel like with each film now in his filmography, he's gone darker and darker. And this film has some really creepy, no music, just sitting just feeling off about what's going on. Peele does a masterful job blending that, which as well, this also being a very funny movie. This movie balances it, just like his other 2 films, perfectly between when you need to go serious and then when the comedy comes in. Obviously, you'll understand why this movie is called Nope. It's played for a lot of jokes in the movie. And yes, there's a lot of definitely jokes in this movie, but it still does not stray away from, it still feels like a balanced tonally film. Another great thing about Peele is that all 3 of his movies don't feel like the same movie. Get Out is very different from Us, and Us is very different from this movie. They feel like different tones, different even times genre at times, with a horror kind of overtone over all 3 movies. Once again, he gets great performances really from top to bottom. Daniel Kaluuya, who is now 2 for 2 now, Jordan Peele, is really good. And this is the most reserved performance for Kaluuya in his career, where he's very reserved, and kind of his best acting is actually when he's quiet or just thinking about his life. And he has a pretty important character arc, again, that feels real. His sister's played by Kiki Palmer, who is definitely the standout of this movie, by far and away her best performance of her career. And this will definitely be getting her looks, and hopefully in Hollywood very, very soon. She was just in Lightyear. voicing, but now live action, pretty much a co-lead with Daniel Kaluuya. She's really excellent, and you care about this brother-sister dynamic. They feel like siblings, the way they talk to each other, the way they act, and they're both also very different. As I said, Keke Palmer is the more energetic, flamboyant person, and Kaluuya is way more quiet and reserved, which I think leads to a lot of the good comedy, but a lot of the intense moments of the movie. And they're both just really, really excellent. I'm really happy because Keke Palmer's been kind of just, she hasn't really broken out in that type of way before. And she is completely broken out as a very fun performance. And it literally starts, she's going to be great the moment she's on screen for the very first time with her first scene, which is really excellent. Brandon Pereira, I think is how you say his name. If I'm sorry, saying his wrong. I'm sorry. Never seen him in anything, but he plays kind of this IT guy who helps put the cameras on this house. He's also probably gives the most comedic relief in the movie. He's really good, but also has an arc to himself as well. Michael Wincott plays Antlers Holst, who's like this director. He's also really, really solid. And Steven Yeun, who also plays a really crucial role into the movie. He's also really excellent. Those five in particular are really the five main characters in the movie. They're all really excellent, but it all comes down to, of course, the Kaluuya and Palmer relationship. And that for me definitely works. The score is really good. The movie's absolutely gorgeous. And you also care about these characters, and the movie keeps you guessing. It feels like this type of cliche, and then it kind of flips it on its head. And I think a lot of people might not like this movie as much as the other two, but this movie really makes you think. And also you really need to pay attention to every single scene of the movie, and sometimes dialogue, because some things are going to go over a lot of people's heads with this movie. And I think you just got to, I like when movies challenge you, and Peele's films really do challenge the audience members. And that's just of anyone, any race, any gender. He just challenges everyone. That's why Peele is this for business-wise, very remarkable, because his films don't just reach to a particular person, gender, race, everyone, and everyone can find their place into his movies and how you're supposed to act basically now in real life about it. But now, yes, this movie does have tons of, definitely has its social commentary in it. I also feel like it has its love of movie crews, because Kaluuya and Keke Palmer's character play these horse trainers so they could be in movies, these horse trainers for Hollywood. And you don't really get a lot of respect, but there's a lot of things about how heroic it is just to be on a movie set, how all these people are actually real people who are doing just as good of a job as the people who are in front of the camera. And I do feel like the movie explores that really interestingly as well. It really makes you think. I had a long conversation with the person who I watched this with after the movie, and we had a 15-minute car ride. We talked about breaking down all the different storylines, and it really makes you think. And I think, like, if you're the type of person who wants your answers and you don't really want to think about the movie afterwards, this might not be for you. But for me, I do have I guess a couple issues. I did feel the length of the movie at times. For me, it was a bit too long. It could have been I think 10 or 15 minutes I was never bored during the movie, but you could definitely feel that it was 2 hours, 10 minutes long. I do feel like the third act, there was a point where it feels like you're building to a third act, and they're like, actually, this is not the third act of the movie. But other than that, I do feel like this is his second best movie. For me, this is up there with Us and Get Out. These are three really fantastic films that he has made. He's definitely one of, if not my favorite filmmaker working now today, because he's a very strong 3 for 3 for me. So I started to have a lot of negatives, but there's just not a lot of negatives for me. Clever movie, really well acted, really well shot, directed, all those things. So I'm going to give Nope 4.5 out of 5. I'm going to give it a 93%. One of the best movies I've seen all year long. So that's my thoughts on Nope. Please like the video, subscribe, ring the bell if you're notified for videos. Tomorrow I'll get my review of the new big Netflix movie, The Gray Man. That'll be tomorrow. Monday, we'll break down the box office breakdown show, but we'll break down Nope's box office this upcoming weekend. And lots of other videos. DC League, a Super Pets review next week. Bullet Train, 2 weeks to come. So a lot of things coming here on the channel. So please subscribe, ring the bell. See you guys soon.